PM show coast to coast on CRN Digital Talk Radio. I'm Michael Horn. Ladies and gentlemen, the host today, the great football star, the great athlete, the great actor, and now a guy that's watching out for you and the United States of America. Ladies and gentlemen, Fred Dreyer.
Thank you, Michael. Welcome aboard, everybody. It's great to have the airwaves open to us, and there's folks like Carol Mitchell, who has emailed us and has been listening. I want to just thank all of you so far who have called in and who have responded greatly to what we're talking about. And what I want to just briefly lay out here for the rest of the show are some points that I believe that cover a little bit about what is not being discussed and why it's not being discussed. And let's just go back over what happened over this last weekend. Boehner and McCain have wrestled the party away from the Tea Party. The Republican Party now is in command. The Tea Party members, the ones who turned the election around in November, have now been nullified. The party now represents the neocons, left of center Republicans, and not the Tea Party people. They're pushing their left of center agenda up the rear ends of the American wishes, just like the Obama did to the Republicans over the last 2 years for Obamacare. And the spirit was just sit back there in the back of the bus and shut up. And that's exactly what's going on in the Republican Party. They're wrestling away for control of where the party is going to go. The Republican Party as today is no more close to representing you than Barack Obama and Harry Reid. Notice who set forth the two best bills, Paul Ryan and Connie Mack. They're Tea Party people. These bills were beautifully crafted, simple in its form, and just what the American people wanted and need. The left was nervous about these two bills until Boehner and McConnell sabotaged it before they allowed these two bills, one or both, to have its saturation effect on the negotiation. They bailed on these things way too early. They should have rode these two bills all the way into the last 24 to 48 hours and put pressure on the left to accept these two bills, one of or a combination of these two bills. Okay? What this was is a compromise. This was a kowtowing to the left fascist great grinding wheel of propaganda. Notice how the word compromise was used by the left. I mean, everyone agrees to compromise when there's a disagreement, right? So compromise is always great. And the person who steps up and says, oh, listen, I know you're both arguing vehemently and you both believe in but let's compromise. Right. And that's the guy that's celebrated, Well, this is the time you don't want to compromise. You must not give this child of darkness, this Muhammad Atta, another $2 trillion under any circumstances, for this is the problem. We are in this situation because of compromise. The Republicans have kicked the can and compromised and turned their backs since Ronald Reagan left office. When Bill Clinton created this mess, and he's the one that escalated all of this stuff in his presidency, the Republicans just turned their back and let it happen. Neocons are shriveled, feckless reprobates when it comes to the face-to-face battle with the left's grinding wheel. The left has the best machinery, they fight the best, they organize the best, they lie the best, they cheat the best, they have the best delivery system for their poisonous message. The American media trust. The American media is the delivery system of progressive left of center, extreme left progressivism, i.e. anti-Americanism, anti-capitalism. Big union governments grow the governments. When people talk about jobs, even the Republicans are doing this terrible mistake. They're not delineating the government jobs, union jobs, from free market, private sector jobs. Yeah. They're not delineating. I see all of them do it. Michelle Bachmann does it all the time. There is not one there is no contest between this machinery and the Pee-wee pop gun, a fair and balanced Fox News Talk Radio construct. Right now, by 2-to-1 margin, Americans say all this is the problem of the Republicans. It's the Republicans' fault. This opinion is a direct result of lazy-brained, uninformed people listening to the voice of the great grinding wheel on the left, the propaganda machinery, the great mediaocracy that we're living in today. Boehner and the neocons let Barack off the hook by not allowing this crushing topic, the very spine that will be his defeat next year, was there for the taking for the Republicans. This is just unforgivable. Once you make the decision to abandon your principles and move across the center line, you leave yourself open for manipulation through intimidation. The Republicans are frightened to death of the great accusation, of the grinding wheel of the leftist propaganda. The Republicans cannot defend themselves. They refuse to defend themselves. Case in point, 8 years of George Bush, apathy in the White House. Politically, they're dead, and therefore are inept to represent any one individual, let alone the country or any idea, singular or combined. There has to be a candidate that speaks for the American people with the understanding and the urgency that establishes a return to the right of center principles and the almighty Constitution. Now, we will discuss this as we go forward, to the next stage of this disaster, the election agenda, as we move forward. And so what we've got now is a real jam that we're in. We've given this guy $2 trillion more. We let him off the hook for next year. He doesn't have to address this stuff really till after the election in 2013. I believe the Democrats are playing possum. I believe the Democrats are laying in the weeds. I think they're thrilled to death to have this thing signed. He gets to expand government while he's suckered the right into thinking that future elected officials, left and right, collectively, will roll back for the next 10 years all this spending. It's not going to happen in a million years.
Don't they have to decide that with this committee that they've got?
That committee can be stacked. You don't know who's going to be on the committee, and I don't trust any of these people. I don't trust the Republicans more than I don't trust the left right now.
What's the saving notion here? Is there any saving notion at all?
You've got to hope, and you have to demand that some of these people who are running for office, I don't know if it's going to be Rick Perry or if it's going to be Chris Christie. I don't know who's going to come up out of the weeds that's going to be able to articulate to the people exactly what Ronald Reagan did. And as you well know, the Republican Party hated Ronald Reagan. They wanted him out of there for the specific reason that they want a candidate that will drive the agenda of the party, not think for himself.
All right, so we're going to analyze. We're going to take some sound bites here. We're going to talk about this. But are we all lost? I mean, is there any way out of this thing? You think that there's going to be somebody's going to step up? I mean,
that's the hope, And as we all know, that Barry has told us that a hope is worth a pig in a poke, and a change. You never know what you're going to get. I've got change in my pocket. That's not going to help me in this next election. And the only thing we can do is hope that somebody steps forward and starts talking about the truth, because so far no one's doing it.
All right, so, and Barry, of course, is President Barack Obama. That's his real name, Barry?
That's right.
All right, straight ahead, we continue PM show. Fred Dreyer right here on CRN.